You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
Typical day in Maui. Who am I? This is the way you're supposed to prepare for games. Why would we ever leave here? Who won? Who cares? I love Maui.
This is the 2019 Maui Gym Maui Invitational. Day 3, the final day of games here in the islands. Another gorgeous scene outside, spectacular weather, so many things to do. And for the fans of these two programs, they're inside here for the morning game. 9:30 local time, 2:30 Eastern time back east. This is the 5th place game. The championship game is about 2.5 hours away at noon local, 5 Eastern time. Get to know the name Obi Toppin. Get to know the Dayton Flyers, a team that'll likely be ranked next week, win or lose today. One of the rising stars in the game, Obi Toppin. They'll take on the Blue Blood, the Kansas Jayhawks, the 4th-ranked team in the nation, are trying to win the Maui Invitational for the 2nd consecutive time. They won it when they came here in 2015. That game comes your way at 5 o'clock Eastern time here from the Lahaina Civic Center. Hi, everybody, and welcome back inside the Civic Center. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis, very glad you are with us again today. Let's talk Michigan State. 5th place game, not where you'd expect them to be. Lost to Virginia Tech in the first game, but got a big performance out of Cassius Winston to win yesterday.
I think Michigan State is still trying to find that Spartan identity. The toughness that they usually have at every position. But one thing that Michigan State can always count on is the play of Cassius Winston. He is their leader unquestionably on the court and off. And against Georgia, he was back to his magnificent self. 28 points, 8 assists, played a ton of minutes, controlled the tempo. And when things got a little tight toward the end, when Anthony Edwards of Georgia went off for 33 in the second half, it was the calming influence of Cassius Winston that led Michigan State to the win.
Meanwhile, for UCLA, they lost their first game by 15 to BYU. Then they beat Chaminade yesterday to get to this game. It's year 1 of the Mick Cronin era now for the Bruins.
Well, Mick Cronin is trying to establish a culture at UCLA, and it's got to be a culture of sustained toughness. Can they sustain their toughness over 40 minutes? Thus far in the season, they haven't been able to do it. It's a younger team. Everybody's new to each other, and they're new to this coaching staff. But they've got to be their toughest selves in this game individually and collectively to keep Michigan State out of transition and off the glass. Otherwise, the Spartans are going to impose whatever they want on UCLA.
First time that Mick Cronin has ever coached against a Tom Izzo Michigan State team. And you talk about a program of toughness and a culture. Mick Cronin would love UCLA to be like what Michigan State has been under Tom Izzo, a combination of toughness and talent leading to a lot of success.
Well, Tom Izzo has built a program at Michigan State that is off the charts. It is a blue blood in every regard. 8 Final Fours in the last 21 years. That's the most in college basketball. He's done an extraordinary job, but he's got a team this year that has some holes to fill from last year. You know, losing Kenny Goins, Matt McQuaid, Nick Ward. This is a different group, and they're still trying. They're very good, but they're still trying to figure it out. They're not the #1 team anymore, and they're a ways away from it. But they're going to get there, I believe, but they're not there yet.
Michigan State was #1. They lost. Kentucky was #1. They lost. Duke is #1. They lost. Who will be #1 next week?
It doesn't matter because they're going to lose too.
Yeah.
This is going to be a rotating carousel all year long. Nobody is head and shoulders above the rest.
I'll tell you, we're really looking forward to the championship game. Kansas and Dayton should be a fantastic game. We've got Michigan State and UCLA in the 5th place game to get it started today. Chris Rastatter, Mike Skyfers, Keith Kimball are the officials, and it'll be Spartan ball to get us started.